Welcome to next lesson in magnetic fields in matter. Today we will discuss the physical interpretation of bound currents. In the last class we have discussed the magnetic field produced by a magnetized object, and we found that the magnetic field produced by a magnetized object is same as the field produced by a surface current density Kb and a volume current density Jb. These current densities are respectively called as bound surface current density and bound volume current density. Now here we will discuss the physical importance or physical interpretation of these bound currents, and we can see that these bound currents are real currents and it is not a mathematical construct. Here in this figure it shows a thin slab of uniformly magnetized material with the dipoles represented by tiny current loops of area small a. So each dipole, it is represented here in a rectangular fashion. Each dipole has an area of small a and thickness means the thickness of the slab, it is small t, and each dipole is carrying a current I. All the dipoles have the same area and carries the same current, so that the material is uniformly magnetized, or the magnetization capital M is uniform. Now we see that within the interior of the material, the current due to the adjacent dipoles, for example at this edge, the current due to this dipole and this dipole cancel each other, so that the net current at this point will be 0. And here also at this edge, the current due to this dipole and this dipole, they will cancel each other. So all the internal currents cancel each other between the adjacent dipoles. But what happens at the edge? At the edge there are no other dipoles to cancel. So at the edge the currents are not cancelling. So there will be a net current passing through the edge of the magnetized material. And the edge has a thickness small t, that is the width of the path. We can say the current is passing through the edge, and that edge or the outer surface of the slab has a thickness t. So this current will produce a surface current density called the surface bound current. Why it is called bound we can discuss, because we see that each current is passing through a tiny loop, and that current is a part of the current is coming towards the outer surface, and on this part of the surface it will be the contribution from another current loop. So each point on the outer surface, the current on the surface is due to the contribution from different dipoles, or a single charge cannot pass throughout the entire path. Each charge is confined, or they are bound to the parent atom, so that these currents are called bound currents. Now if capital M is the magnetization, then dipole moment of one loop, that is equal to dipole moment small m is equal to dipole moment per unit volume into volume of that one loop. Volume is equal to area into thickness, that is MAT. Also we see that dipole moment has another formula, current into area, that is IA. Getting these two expressions, we get M into AT is equal to I into A, or MT is equal to I. Therefore the current per unit width, this current I is passing through a width T. So the current per unit width on the surface of the material, that is K, it is called K, that is surface current density. K is equal to I by T. From this expression we get K is equal to M. Now the surface current is perpendicular to, we can see the surface current is passing through this fashion. It is perpendicular to M and it is perpendicular to n, that is the unit vector on the surface. Unit vector will be perpendicular to the surface, and current is passing on the surface. Also the current is perpendicular to m. So in vector form, this k can be written as m cross n cap, where m is the magnetization and n cap is the unit vector perpendicular to the surface. It is called bound because no current, no charge is passing throughout the entire path. The charges are bound to the parent atom, but the contributions from different dipoles forms a current on the entire path. Here no single charge makes the whole trip. Each charge moves only in a tiny little loop within a single atom. But the net effect is a macroscopic current flowing over the surface. So it is called a bound because every charge is attached to a particular atom. But apart from the name bound, this current is perfectly a genuine current, and it produces a magnetic field in the same way any other current does. That is, this current also produces a magnetic field in the same way as a current passes through a conventional conductor. Now, next one is volume bound current density. It occurs only when the magnetization is non-uniform, because we have the expression JB equal to del cross M. It will be non-zero only if M is not a constant. Now let us look at the net current in the x direction due to the difference in the magnetization in the y and z directions. Here there is x direction from the plane of the paper, and there is y direction and z direction. And we are considering here the magnetization along the z direction, and it is not a constant. Here, as we move along the y direction, at this point the magnetization has a point mz of y, and at another point y plus dy, the magnetization along the z direction has another value mz of y plus dy. So the current, there will be a current passing through this dipole, and that dipole has a width that is called as dz because this is the z direction, and the distance between these two dipoles is dy because this is y and this is y plus dy. Therefore, along the x direction, the current passing towards the x direction is mz y plus dy because this is mz of y plus dy. That is that mz of y plus dy into width of that one, that is dz. It is the surface current passing. It is the current passing towards the positive x direction because at this junction the current is passing towards the positive x direction. The current is circulating in this fashion. But at this point position, that is at the edge where these two dipoles meet, the current due to mz of y plus dy is along the positive x direction. Therefore, mz of y plus dy into dz, it is the current along the positive x direction, and there is another current along the negative x direction towards the mz of y, and due to that the current is mz of y into dz, that is minus mz of y into dz, that is equal to, now this one, mz of y plus dy minus mz of y divided by dy into dy. That quantity can be written as dou mz by dou y. So this can be written as dou mz by dou y into dy dz. That is equal to Ix. Is the current passing along the positive x direction, and this current is coming towards the positive x direction through a surface area of dy dz. That is dy, this is the distance dy, and this is this distance dz. So the area of this dipole, that is dy dz. So this much amount of current is passing through an area of dy dz towards the positive x direction. Therefore, the surface current density will be equal to current by surface area, that is Ix by dy dz, that is equal to minus, that is equal to dou mz by dou y, because here we get dou mz by dou y into dy dz. If dy dz is taken this to side, you get dou mz by dou y. Similarly, the non-uniform magnetization in the y direction, here it is in the y direction. In the y direction, it will produce, in the y direction, we are considering the magnetization along the y direction, that is my. As we move along the z direction, it will be varying with the value of z. So my of z here my of z plus dz. And the current passing towards the positive x direction, it is due to my of z, it is towards the positive x direction, but my of z plus dz, it is towards the negative x direction. Because at this point, at this junction, when they meet, one current is towards the positive and one current is towards the negative x direction. Therefore, the positive x direction current comes my of z into the width of the current, that is dy, that is into dy. And what is the current towards the negative x direction? It is my of z plus dz into this width, that is minus my of z plus dz into dy. Now this quantity can be written as the quantity inside the bracket. It is minus dou my dou z into dz, that is minus dou my dou z into dz into dy. Now this much amount of current is passing through an area of dz dy. Therefore, current per unit area is Ix by dy dz, that is equal to minus dou m by dou z. So we see that the total surface current towards the x direction is due to the non-uniformity of magnetization along the y direction and magnetization along the z direction. So combining these two results, we get Jb of x is equal to dou mz by dou y minus dou my by dou z. Similarly, we get the y and the z component of the volume current density, the Jby and the Jbz, and taking all these components together, we get the total bound volume current density Jb equal to x component I cap, j cap, k cap, that is equal to, we get it as Jb equal to del cross m. So we see that this formula is physically, it is a real current which is passing in the interior of the material. But here also it is bound because no single charge can move throughout the material. Each charge is bound to the parent atom. Now the point, also another point is Jb is in magnetostatics, del dot J is equal to 0. So here also del dot Jb is equal to del dot of del cross M, which will be always equal to 0 because the divergence of a curl is always equal to 0. Now, the magnetic field inside matter. In this chapter, at first we have discussed the magnetic field, that is the magnetization. Magnetization means the effect of a magnetic field on a material, and we discovered that there are three types of materials: paramagnetic, ferromagnetic and diamagnetic. And in the second section, we have discussed the magnetic field produced by a magnetized material. That is the field produced by the magnetized material. Now, the magnetic field inside matter means it is the total magnetic field. Total means it is the magnetic field produced by any external agency plus the magnetic field produced by the magnetization. But the actual microscopic magnetic field inside the matter will be rapidly fluctuating. It will be fluctuating from point to point and from instant to instant because of the movement of electrons and other charged particles. The magnetic field will be varying very rapidly from point to point and from instant to instant. This is the true microscopic field, but that microscopic field is impossible to calculate, and also it is not much useful for the macroscopic properties. When we call a material as diamagnetic, it is a macroscopic property. So microscopic magnetic field is not important. But so what we mean by the magnetic field inside matter is the macroscopic field. Means it is the average over many atoms. And the net macroscopic field in a material is the combined effect of externally applied field and the field produced by the magnetized material itself. We will be applying a magnetic field externally, it will produce a magnetic field, and that magnetic field will be magnetize the material, and the magnetization will produce another magnetic field. So the total magnetic field inside the material is the combined effect of the external field plus the field produced by the magnetization. So after watching this video, please try to answer the questions, give the physical interpretation of bound currents. Show that in magnetostatics, the bound currents obey the equation of continuity. What is meant by microscopic and macroscopic magnetic fields inside matter? Thank you for watching this video.